Columbus Police Department has confirmed that 2 people have died after a shooting took place here at the Family Dollar on Floyd Road. Teresa, now it seems calm behind me, but just a little while ago, Columbus EMS and Fire, PD, and their divers were out here searching for a car at the bottom of the marina. Phil, I'm outside of the Hamilton City Police Department and the City Hall, where on Monday night, the mayor and the city asked for the resignation of Police Chief Gene Almond and Officer John Brooks. I am right outside of where this fire occurred last night on Blue Creek Road, and if you take a look behind me, you will see just how devastating this fire was. Now the roof has caved in and the walls have been burned through. That's right, Teresa. The city of Hamilton says if everyone had paid their speeding tickets, they would have more than $35,000 in revenue. Phil, about 15 citizens from both Hamilton and Harris County are expected to attend the socially distanced meeting tonight. Now, the meeting is to discuss their thoughts on the hiring process of the new police chief. Now, Jones still has 2 pending charges against him that, if he is convicted, could unseat him from district attorney. Phil, if you take a look behind me, the statue is covered in what appears to be gray and beige paint. Now, there are some drops of red paint as well. Every school is going to receive 6 of these bags. 2 of them will be filled with regular hygiene products like toothbrushes and soap, while the other 4 will be filled with feminine care products. That's right, Blake. Today is Galentine's Day, and yes, it's a real holiday. Today is the day to leave those boys at home and celebrate your gal pals, moms, sisters, or any other women in your life. Teresa, last year, a GBI medical examiner changed Hector Areola's cause of death from methamphetamine toxicity to homicide. Now the NAACP and Areola's family are continuing the fight for justice following the release last year of body cam video showing Areola's arrest.
No force used.
You need a break?
4 years. 4 years to get action.
The president of the Columbus NAACP chapter, Wayne Hales, says the awakening across the country caused by the death of George Floyd this past summer has prompted this as the perfect time for Areola's story to be heard.
Now, I think, thankfully, because of the George Floyd situation, is the time for it to come out. And it still hadn't, but today was an opportunity for it to really come to the forefront.
Hales says the new district attorney, Mark Jones, has said these officers should have been arrested and charged with aggravated assault and murder. He also added that Jones says he plans to bring them in front of a grand jury. And after 4 years and many obstacles later, the Areola's family says what keeps them going is Hector Areola's daughter and future generations.
She's going to ask the question pretty soon about her father. And we want to make sure that we provide her the right answer and what happened to her father. And what changed because of what happened to her father.
We've reached out to Columbus police, who say they are unable to comment on an ongoing investigation, and we're also awaiting comment from District Attorney Mark Jones. Teresa, back to you. The GHSA cheerleading season usually begins in August and ends in November, but due to COVID-19, these athletes have been training for nearly 3 extra months. Despite the extended schedule causing exhaustion, head coach of Columbus High School cheerleading team, Christina Pelletier, says she's incredibly proud of her team for all they've accomplished this year.
It's been a long year, but it's been a rewarding year as well to see them overcome the challenges from COVID and the changes. It has really been a good year.
The Quad A division team faced challenges like having various athletes in quarantine at different times, forcing them to constantly change and rework their routine.
Sometimes it was hard to hold full team practices, so working we'd have to work individual skills, so we didn't get as much group time as we might have wanted, but in the end we all came together and made it work, so that's what matters the most.
Even though the team had a few mistakes in their state championship routine, assistant coach Elise Higgins says it's a moment that they should still cherish and be proud they were able to experience at all.
There's some teams that qualified for state and couldn't come compete because of COVID reasons. So I think we're just lucky that we were able to make it here. We were able to stay safe and healthy this whole season.
After months of uncharted territory, the Columbus High School cheerleading team placed 7th out of 16 teams at the state championship. Besides challenges presented by the pandemic, coaches said these athletes had to overcome blood, sweat, and tears at practices in order to leave it all on the mat here at GHSA State Championship. Reporting in Macon, Carissa DiAgostino, WRBL News 3, on your side. 5 Piedmont Columbus regional employees were chosen at random to be the first to receive the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine. The 5 frontline workers include a paramedic, a respiratory therapist, 1 intensive care nurse, a critical care nurse, and a doctor of infectious disease. Respiratory therapist April Gillies expressed her excitement and relief about being one of the 5 to receive the vaccine.
It affects every part of my life, my job. I don't want to give it to anybody. I don't want to give it. And so I'm so thankful that everybody will get this vaccine and do their part.
Paramedic Richard Sabri reiterated what a blessing it is to be able to receive what the mayor is calling an extra coat of armor for our frontline workers.
We deal with people daily coming in the hospital with corona, so this is a real boost for everyone.
Receiving this vaccine is just one part of this process. The recipients will also need to check in daily from here on out. Now, all 5 of these healthcare workers are a part of the emergency use program, meaning they'll have to come back in 3 to 4 weeks to receive their second dose. Reporting in Columbus, Carissa D'Agostino, WRBL News 3, on your side. That's right, Sacra. Ernest Kelly was 101 years old with a lifetime of achievements. But besides that, he was a man of kindness and love. I sat down with his family to learn more about his history as they prepared to say goodbye to the man they honored and cherished. Ernest Kelly was a military legend in the Columbus area. He fought in World War II, the Korean War, Vietnam, and Pearl Harbor. In 2014, our anchor and reporter Phil Scoggins sat down with 95-year-old Kelly as he recounted the Pearl Harbor attack for our Veterans Day special.
A torpedo hit the ship, and it shook me up quite a bit, and the officer of the deck passed the word, man your battle stations. We knew then, and the few people was around me, we knew that it was something quite serious.
Despite being involved in such serious world events, Kelly never lost the pep in his step.
101, 101, 101.
His military career isn't the only incredible story from his lengthy life. Kelly married wife Eva Kelly after only knowing each other for a short while and a language barrier.
We were thinking to get married on Valentine's Day, but the papers didn't come from the capital, from Tegucigalpa, until the 16th in the evening. And then the attorney said, well, tomorrow we're going to marry you. And that was the 17th. So.
The couple knew each other for 50 years and had been married for 49 years at the time of his passing. His daughter Myrna Kelly says their worlds always revolved around each other.
My dad's last words on this earth was, honey, I love you, happy anniversary.
As you saw in the video, Kelly and his service to our country was honored by having Patriot Riders lead him to his final place of rest and a 3-volley salute. Kelly is leaving behind a tremendous family and legacy that will last forever. Back to you, Sacra.